Welcome to Acquired Taste Podcast. We are back. It's your boy Dirty D.
It's your boy Tech Daddy.
All systems go.
Houston, we have a John.
Both good intro. Look at that. We have come so far.
All right.
We have come so far as a podcast.
One small step.
And we have now regressed so far. One step for man, 2 steps back for this podcast.
Are you saying it was challenging?
We blew up.
Yeah.
There it is.
Good one.
That's
None of us knew it was going to go this way so fast.
no,
The
we did
O-rings
not.
have failed.
Those were made by Mormons.
That
Did
makes
you know
so
that?
much more sense. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
Mormon fundamentalist cult.
Okay, we're gonna get to that.
I did know that.
Okay, let me do the intro. And we're gonna circle back to that almost literally. Anywho, we're Acquired Taste Podcast. If you are new to our podcast, thanks for giving us a listen. We are a history-based podcast. We do some history, some mystery, some music, and we're going to start every episode pretty much with some banter. Gets us, loosened up a little bit, if you will, breaks the ice. And about 15, sometimes 20 minutes or so into the episode, we'll actually get to the topic that you came here for. So if you really do just want to hear what we're here to talk about today, you can fast forward. If you want to be cool, you can listen to us banter for a little bit, and it's usually pretty funny. So, choose your own adventure on that one. If you are a returning listener, thanks for the support. We've been doing this for a couple years now. We finally have video. We had a website. We're doing some stuff. We made some changes this year. We moved into an attic. Mm-hmm. So, a lot's happened in the past year, and we thank you for that continued support. We're still planning on, of course, doing our 3-year party at Foreign Local eventually.
3.5-year party.
It's fine. We're semantics. Semantics. So we're gonna get into that too. We'll of course be sending out details on that. Also, shout out to Foreign Local. He did wish us happy anniversary, by the way,
nice.
on Spotify. So that was pretty tight. So yeah, shout out to Foreign Local. We appreciate you guys, and we appreciate all of our listeners. A lot of new ones recently, so thanks. We hope you like the content. Please give us a follow, by the way. I noticed the other day, I was looking at the analytics, actually this morning, and I spent my Sunday looking at analytics because football's not back on yet, and I noticed that that a lot of our listeners, I think 59% of our listeners are not following us. So,
yeah.
we appreciate you guys listening to us, of course, but the follows definitely do help us as far as posting our any kind of advertisement for us actually getting any kind of income from this. We, of course, do this for fun, but a paycheck wouldn't hurt.
Yeah,
So-
and honestly, I used to do that too, where I would had my playlist or favorite podcasts, but I just wouldn't follow them.
Yeah.
Just pure
Rude.
fucking laziness. Yeah,
Just rude, really.
But if you follow them, every week when there's a new episode, it's going to be the first thing that pops up whenever they have a new music that comes up, and you're going to be alerted about it. It's honestly the best thing to do. So
Think about starting every week with these voices
Every Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Every Tuesday.
Anybody else?
right in your ear hole.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody else knows how prim and proper DJ gets when he's fucking asking the viewership for something, but when it's just us, all of us conversing and everything, we can't get him to act like a civilized human being. Look at him. Look at you.
When have I not been civilized?
I don't have
20
an answer
minutes
for
ago.
any of this. I'm actually going to just not comment on this. And we're going to go from there. All right. But anyways, of course, the listeners that have been supporting us for all these years, you get your forehead kisses. There it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fantastic. So yeah, like I said before, give us a follow. We really appreciate it. The ratings have been great because we have been seeing more people actually rating us, and it's been dope. So we appreciate at least the kindness from that. Also, we are still going to be naming the pigeon. I don't know when this episode is going to come out though, so we might already be running the poll by this point because I think we're still a couple weeks ahead.
Yeah,
but we got a bunch of names though. Like, holy crap, we got a lot of names.
We did
now.
get a lot.
Like,
I
I gotta have
nowhere.
to sift through that.
And there were
Like,
some really good ones in there.
dude, I've seen some hilarious ones.
At first, I was like, "Oh, that's the one," and then like some more came.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Wait a minute."
I don't know if you guys have seen it or not. Like, if you check our social media, like, B made a post.
Oh, I didn't see that
And
one.
yeah, like there's like look at the comment section. Like a bunch of people commented in there their names for the pitch. And of course, if you do get your name selected, you're going to be getting a free T-shirt. I'm actually working on the design. I was working on it, I think Thursday or Friday, and I sent over like an initial like draft of what I had. It's all right. It's all right. So I'm gonna keep tweaking it though.
Yeah, no,
but
I like it.
Absolutely.
it's pretty all right. But yeah, the pigeon. We have honestly, there's so many good names though. Like we're gonna have to pick the poll will pick one for us. Like we're not gonna be in charge of this. The voters will be counted for once. And you're fine.
Pidgeotty.
That's a good one. It's a good one.
Greg.
I like the ones that are just like Sebastian or something like that. Hank.
What? Amen.
Oh jeez, who the hell said Hank?
Oh,
I don't know.
Ryan Mattingly.
Oh, Mattingly, nice.
Oh, Mattingly. Shout out to Mattingly. He was on the Juggalo episode.
Yeah, he was. He's been listening to us since the jump. He's been supporting us since our inception. He actually is one of the people that always comment on our stuff too. Actually,
Yeah.
so yeah, shout out to Mattingly on that one.
Come up with a better name.
Well, it's the reason why I asked that question is because my original name was supposed to be Hank, and I don't know.
Oh,
I didn't
that's
know if he
right.
knew that or not. So I'm like, did I ever say that on the podcast? Did he just know that? I don't know. I mean, it's something I don't hide. Like my middle name's the only thing that's not like public knowledge. My original first name was easy work. I really don't care. But yeah, that's good stuff. Anywho, I also just realized that you actually know my middle name. We're just gonna move past that.
No, I don't.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I really hope somebody picks. I had to look it up because it's been so long.
Sure.
But the pigeons from Animaniacs.
Oh God.
I hope
pigeons.
Yeah, I hope one, if not all three names get submitted. Squid, Bobby, and Pesto.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I forgot about them actually. That's a good one.
I didn't forget about them, but I could not. Yeah, I could never have told you their names.
No, if that was like a trivia question, I would have failed.
Yeah, and apparently I didn't remember this either. It was called the Good Feathers.
The good feathers.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. 'cause
Yeah.
It was like a mafia
Well, it was all
spinoff
Ray
thing. Yeah.
Liotta inspired.
Yeah. I don't know why I
all-
thought it was the stool pigeons.
That's a thing. No, that's
Yeah, that is a thing.
That's
But was that Tom and Jerry?
it. Might even be Animaniacs, just a different cartoon.
Oh, it could have been. Yeah, there were so many. Like it was such a variety.
Or they
show
might
back
have just
then.
called each other stool pigeons all the time as an insult.
Yeah.
Oh, they might have. Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that. You're onto
Yeah,
something. I just
yeah.
can't place it because it's such a common phrase, or was such a common phrase.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's interesting. It's very, very interesting. I'm also trying to find. There was a comment that was left from Ashley. It was on our YouTube, and I keep thinking it was on Spotify. But I gotta find this because I always said I would read the comments out loud on here, and it was pretty funny. And I just gotta find it.
Oh.
Like I kind of remember what it was, but
Yeah.
oh come on. What do you mean my community's turned off? What do you mean? YouTube, what is this?
Community, where are you?
Right,
Community.
what is this?
What episode was it?
It was the Turtles. Oh, found it.
Oh, nice.
All right, so remember in the episode I had asked like what turtles the listeners think
Oh,
would
yeah.
be? Yeah, I have an answer for that.
Okay.
From Ashley, by the way. So she said Ben would be a common snapping turtle.
Yeah.
DJ a painted box turtle. I would be a tortoise,
Okay.
which is fair.
So she took it literally. Species of turtles.
you know how she is,
Not
dude.
okay.
Like if there's a chance to make a joke about something, she's going to jump on that. And
No,
that's
no,
fair.
right on. Well, also my head goes to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too, where they have an actual fucking snapping turtle.
Oh yeah, they did. They mutated it.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was Toka or Razor, but it's,
Yeah, it was one of those.
those were the names.
The shit
Right.
of the
noises
two.
he made, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mama.
Oh god, that is a fucking memory right
Oh,
there.
it
Like
is.
that and them eating those damn donuts.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh yeah, it sucks. It sticks with you.
It was bad.
But I think she also had mentioned we need to do a movie review on the Princess Bride. I believe that was she mentioned that. So I can't remember where it was. But
I would do that.
yeah, Princess is a great movie.
Yeah, I think I've only watched it all of like 3 times.
Sure.
My whole life.
Yeah, I can't
and it's been years. And not for not liking it, just never
It's a
needed
movie.
to revisit it.
Also, there was another comment left from Ashley as well about the same thing. Because I had asked, I think this actually might have been a different video, because I had asked what was it like the first time you met Ben? Like, what are people's first impressions of Ben?
Oh yes, that's right.
Wait, when was this at?
This was actually a different episode. Yeah, this was.
We were hoping you listened to it.
Yeah, because he never did, right? Because he would have definitely said something about it. Yeah, it was actually the Korean War episode that we did with the 3 of us.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one where we told everyone to sexually assault Ben.
Yeah, that's right. Well, not we. That was more of a
you.
you thing.
Yeah.
Like, don't put me in that shit.
That's a we thing.
Wait, that came out already?
Well, I put it on. Whenever we record a video for YouTube, I just put it on YouTube immediately. I just
See,
I don't even wait.
Yeah, I don't go to YouTube at all. I just go to Spotify.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So for the listeners, actually, this is knowledge that you all might want to know too. If you want to hear an episode pretty much right after we record it, just go to YouTube. I don't schedule these. I just throw them out there.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, and yeah, because I know I didn't see the Korean War one come up yet.
Yeah, it's on video.
But anyway, the comment.
But yes, the comment was, meeting Ben for the first time was 100% what I expected. But even better, he was bent over in Dad's stance, hand out Dad yelling at B about getting your oil changed.
Get your fucking oil changed.
And I remember this very specifically.
If you don't want me to stress my L5, change your fucking oil.
And he was in straight up dad stance, knife hand fully extended, yelling at B because she hadn't got her oil changed, and I forgot how long. It was
Too long.
It was
Too long.
overdue.
Just-
I wonder if she ever did, actually. We need to call her and have her on speakerphone when we're just recording. Like, hey, B.
I'll call her right fucking now.
Oh, man, just text her. We don't need to.
Damn it, I really wanted to do it.
Yeah.
That old shitbox Mustang.
Hey, it's still rolling, man. Like, that's is impressive in that.
No, her
in that
car's in
regard.
good shape. That's why I razz her about it, because it
Yeah.
is in good shape for
Sure.
how old it is.
For how old it is, right? Yeah, good old B. Anyways, so yeah, that was the day that you were knife hand dad says. I mean, like, he was bent over, had one hand on his knee, the other hand just going for it.
I think I was leaned in.
You were.
Yeah.
And so Ashley just walks into my house, because I think we were planning on getting drinks later on that day, and I right to record it, and she walked into that. So that was her first impression of you, and I'm not surprised.
Behold.
Yeah, that's about right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so those are the comments for the day I'm gonna read. Of course, foreign local shout out to Ashley, of course, for always supporting us too. We do appreciate it. Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, there's a couple more good ones in here, but I can save them.
Those are just for us.
Oh yeah, well, I mean,
Yes,
we're
comments
actually
in a
starting.
public forum.
We're starting to get a lot more interaction though, which is dope. So yeah, if you guys ever want to leave us a comment on, you can do Spotify, of course, YouTube, the basics. You can always leave us a comment. I'm usually gonna be the one that reads them, so feel free to leave your thoughts, opinions, even suggestions. Leave them in there. I'll probably read it.
Mm-hmm.
More than likely.
If you make me laugh hard enough, you get John.
Have a good time.
like in what capacity?
To be determined later.
All.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I'm leaving it ambiguous for legal reasons.
fair enough, because we keep you guys like
It can
on.
be a present or a threat.
We keep you guys on Tinder to give us more subscribers, but then they always just unsubscribe to us after one of you guys piss them off. So
Yeah.
there's that. We did lose a subscriber. I wonder who it was.
That's life in the big city.
She's still texting me. It's a once a week thing.
Oh man.
We should do a
I don't
Patreon.
answer.
We should do a Patreon episode today.
Oh man.
God.
We should with the 4 of us. We should do a Patreon today.
Oh man.
I
With
don't
that
reply
subject
to
matter,
it. I just
Well, if that's the subject matter, I think we can pull it off. Well, Chaz is here though. I want to leave him downstairs stranded.
Hey, Chaz, you good? He's good.
Okay. Anyways, all right. So you want to dive into this bad boy? We're 14 minutes in. I'm sorry if you had like an intro question.
No, yeah, we're good. We can
But
go right into
I feel like
it.
we are. We're limbered up. We're limbered up. That reminds me of the meme I sent you guys. I think I might have sent it to all, not you because you don't read shit. But
it's fair.
But it was like, it was a picture of this dude stretching before he robbed like a Wendy's or some shit. But like somebody caught a video of him stretching before he went to rob a store. Got to limber up for you to crime. I get it, dude. I'm almost
Rule
40.
number 1, cardio.
Dude, for real though, like that movie had good points.
It did.
You know, one of the best things I ever heard from it was the Chariot documentary, the guitarist. And if you ever seen the Chariot live or watched videos, they're one of the craziest bands live you can imagine. They're just insane. There's no like safe spot at a Chariot show. It's just all chaos. But the guitarist was like, before stage, he's just basically running around and jumping and doing flips and just moving. And he's like, I just want to make sure when I go on stage, whatever I do isn't the first time I did it that day.
It's a good point.
So like he doesn't fucking like pull anything, you know. So like if he knows he's
No, sure. I mean, that's just solid advice.
It really is.
I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So
Yeah, it does.
that's not even funny. It's just a life rule.
Honestly, though, yeah. So for our listeners, because stat wise, most of our listeners are in our age group. Make sure you're stretching every morning. You don't need to be out there blowing out anything.
Drink water.
Drink water. Oh, it's very important.
A lot of water.
A lot of water is very important, man. Make sure you're keeping yourself hydrated. Make sure you're stretching. That's the required taste guarantee.
Well, we got a Monster and 2 Red Bulls up here.
Yeah, I don't drink those.
Sugar free, you know.
I have water.
Well, there you go. He just drank some. I saw him do it. He makes me realize I should have brought my water bottle up here because it's actually insulated.
I know, it's so
Would have
nice.
been a move. Anywho,
As we
To
slowly
infinity
dehydrate.
and beyond.
all right, so we're going to talk about the space race. We're going to talk about Apollo 13 because unfortunately, Lovell just passed away. I think Jim Lovell just passed away, what, 2-3 weeks ago now? 2 weeks ago?
No, within a week from today, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
it was
we're
just last
recording
week.
this on the 17th just for posterity purpose because this is not going to come out anytime soon.
yeah,
so,
fair.
most of our listeners will not be hearing this in real time. So, so because he ended up passing away, I think it was 97. I think they said something like that. He was up
old.
there.
He was old.
He was up there and living in Lake Forest, Illinois.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
I thought he just retired to
wow.
Houston.
No, he came back to Illinois.
But how old was he in moon years?
I'm gonna hit you today, aren't I?
What are your strikes? Oh man, yeah, he was. Let me see. Yeah, he passed away August 7th. By the way,
Oh, 10 days ago.
so yeah, 10 days ago he passed, and he was 97, and he was in Lake Forest, as I mentioned. So, yeah, down the street. Dude was down the street. I mean, he was born in the Midwest. He was born in Ohio. So, but we're gonna get to that. So, I want to start off the conversation, of course, with the space race, though, because there's a lot of things that happened before Apollo 13, and it also wasn't his first mission, anyways. Like he was in Apollo 8.
It's impressive how much better known Jim Lovell should be.
I agree with that.
Yeah, compared to, not to take anything away from him, but compared to like Neil Armstrong
Sure.
and everything.
Yeah, I 100% agree with
Yeah.
that. I mean, of course, like all the astronauts back then were rock stars. I mean, there was not a more popular person on the planet than an astronaut.
No, absolutely.
I mean, like the beginning of reality TV was the astronaut wives.
Well,
so
I would say to go to the movie for a second. I don't know how true it is, but I think they captured it real well. Where Tom Hanks playing Jim Lovell gets stopped in traffic, somebody honking and screaming at him, "You're Jim Lovell, right?"
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure there's an element of truth to it, even if that exact event didn't occur.
yeah, for sure.
But I mean, like, even like over in the USSR, what the fuck was his name? Yuri.
Gagarin.
Yeah. Like, he was a celebrity in Russia.
Well, they had one channel.
Yes,
It's also impressive how
We're talking
fucking-
about the Soviets. This is how it's going to go. I'm sorry.
they had. So you mean to tell me North Korea had 2 more channels than the Soviet Russia? That's fucked up.
It's also impressive how fucking little he did, and they technically broke the rules of the space race and just didn't tell anybody.
What do you mean technically?
Yeah.
Any,
we'll talk about it.
We're gonna get there.
We'll talk about
Any
We're gonna get there.
astronaut from the Soviet Union is basically a human analog for Wile E. Coyote with an Acme rocket strapped to his ass.
There is so much truth to that statement that I'm sure you're unaware of.
I'm not.
We're gonna
get
get there.
to it.
We're gonna get there. right, so let's start. I'll get this bad boy started off then. And also, what I was looking up real quick, just because I was just talking about the celebrity of these astronauts. One of the biggest marketing campaigns, and this is, I didn't write this down, so I'm going to go off of this little strip, Google and memory, because it's one of the coolest things ever. So, as the listeners might know, and I know you guys should know, one of my dream cars to own is a Corvette. I've always wanted to own a Corvette.
Yep.
It's one of my things. I will own one eventually. Anywho, so one of the biggest ad campaigns to get Corvette off the ground, because Corvette, being a model, wasn't really seen as a sports car. It really wasn't seen as like a high selling car.
Did they throw one into fucking space?
Not like Tesla, but kind of close. So what they did was, in order to probably hit somebody, probably hit an alien.
Probably annihilated an alien civilization.
There's a chance.
Side note, I know I'm derailing this real quick. So there's a thing that's happened not too long ago, like late 90s, and essentially it was a undocumented asteroid that was coming at the Earth, and people started freaking the fuck out because they were like,
as they do.
We track everything. This thing's on a near collision course. It's going to come real fucking close to us. And they're like, how did we not see this before? And so they started scanning it and doing everything they can. And then they're like, it's made of titanium oxide. That's the shit we spray on rockets. It was one of the fucking Saturn engines that got ejected.
Yeah.
And they're normally designed to be basically flung into the sun, but it had corrected itself off path.
Okay.
And so it slingshotted around the moon and became this elliptical orbit around the sun. Mm-hmm. And so, like, every 13 years, it revisits Earth.
So I didn't die. I want to make it your problem as a rocket.
So I just want it to be in, like, 20 years from now, this fucking Tesla comes out of
But like, I wanted to have like the horn from like, what do you think about like a Mexican horn? Like,
I was thinking like
Elon Musk.
It looks like an asteroid, but its hazards are on.
Fantastic.
The second brightest Tesla fire.
Jeez. So about Corvette, like I said before, Corvette really wasn't selling well. They were trying to get their brand out there. They were trying to make this brand popular. What they did was, because they couldn't just up and give them to people for free, but what they did, they did what Beats did before Beats even existed, and they gave them to astronauts for $1. Jim Lovell owned one. So did so actually a lot of people from
Ken Mattingly. They both have them in the movie.
Yeah, like a lot of astronauts own one, except for like there was a few that had like these really one-off cars that were kind of funny. But yeah, like you were given a 1968 Corvette for $1.
That's insane.
And that's how the brand took off. Almost literally. Because they gave the most popular people on the planet the ability to have one for $1. And they drove them. Wow. And then boom, profit. So anyways, going into the space race. So, as I mentioned before, Lovell was one of these astronauts. There were a lot. There were a lot of astronauts that were selected to be part of the astronaut program. Before that, though, the reason why this was even happening, the Cold War, obviously being a big problem during this time frame, a lot was happening in the world in between 1960 and 1970. You had the civil rights. You had the Vietnam War. A lot was happening in the world, and then on top of that, you had the Cold War. That was weird. My brain just completely shut off. So yeah, so the Cold War, a big proponent of it was the race for arms. It was an arms race. The space race was honestly just an arms race in disguise, because they were looking for a way to shoot rockets at each other from a long ass distance. And if you go into space with it, even better. I shot a rocket. I hit you with a bomb from space.
Space bomb.
To emphasize, the Soviet launch vehicle was their ICBM missile with a capsule on top of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was actually reliable enough. So like
the Soviets aren't going to specialize anything though. So
you don't have to.
It's still used today.
It's still poor today.
They still use the T-54 today.
You know,
Fair enough. So, as I mentioned before, it was the Cold War and the space race. The space race was really just disguised for an arms race. ICBMs were the biggest fucking thing in the world at that point. You wanted to be able to hit a target with a nuke from as far away as you possibly could. What better way to do it than to start shitting shit in space? Because why not? You have the power to. So, if you can go back and listen to our episode about Operation Paperclip, we do allude to a lot of this in that episode. And it's also a pretty good episode. I think was it that 4 of us?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so
that was the one John wanted to do.
Right. Okay. Cool. So go back and listen to the episode Operation Paperclip. You'll get a lot of the details about how the rocket technology ended up in America. I'm not going to touch on it because we have already touched on it. Moving past that, though, so of course the basics. We had Werner von Braun in America. The Soviets had the Ukrainian scientist Sergei Kovalev. And those two dudes, one on each side, obviously, were the biggest propellants of shit going to space. And again, Paperclip, we explain a lot of that. So 1955, both countries announced that they're going to start sending a satellite into space. So U.S. was like, we're going to send a satellite into space. So it's like, we're going to send a satellite into space, but first. And unfortunately, they fucking did. So in October 4th, 1957, the Soviets launched Sputnik.
And people freaked the fuck out.
Yes, they did.
As they do.
Yes, they did.
I'm going to be saying that a lot today.
Yeah, 100%. Well, because it was a satellite. You were able to see it. Bless you. You were able to see it from the ground. So like there was videos of people at baseball games or football games stopping dead in their tracks and looking at Sputnik hovering over America. Like you are already the Red Scare is in full effect, and they have something above you now that you can't shoot down yet. That's an issue. Yep. And on top of that, because of Sputnik broadcasting a signal, and they chose a very common signal, radio stations in America could pick up the Sputnik signal. So not only is it above you, you can now hear it, and you can't shoot at it, which to America is always a problem.
The hell I can!
Oh, they tried.
I believe
there's definitely people out there.
100%.
I'm getting my gun.
Dude, it's one of my favorite parts of Independence Day. Is when the news broadcast when they tell LA to not shoot at the alien spacecraft.
Yes.
You might start an intergalactic war.
Yes. And as Americans, we probably would. There's no chance of that. I mean, we saw what happened with the Amazon drone program. Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's no chance in hell people weren't trying to shoot at it. So anyways.
No, look, this disc needs democracy.
Exactly. So I was at 57, they launched Sputnik and completely beat America. Now this is when America was of course just trying to catch up, but unfortunately when it came to rocket technology, we weren't there yet. So there were a bunch of accidents.
So I do want to say constantly throughout, and this was even a surprise to me, it was we were losing the space race for a minute. Oh, yeah. And people act like it is always portrayed as the Soviets were decades ahead of us. We launched our own satellite 4 months later.
Right.
So I have something on this.
Okay, go for it.
So what you're seeing is the direct benefits of conscripted forced slave labor in a communist country. And where life doesn't mean anything. So, of course, they can get something into the sky faster than we can. They can do all these other things faster than we can because, so he died, we'll have another one.
Yeah, for sure.
It's, my favorite part about the U.S.-Soviet space races is very much, it is, I would say, the preeminent example in real world or the real world of the tortoise and hare race, and I love it.
Yeah,
for all the right reasons.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. And also a big help that, and I had to look this up because I forgot about it until we started talking about it. But when the CIA also stole parts from a fucking Soviet satellite in Russia. So yeah, straight up, it's a crazy story, and I actually wish I had wrote something down about this because it was such a cool story. But yeah, after Sputnik happened, obviously they had the Soviets, being the proud people that they are, started showing off a copy of their satellite in museums. Well, the thing is, and which is so crazy to think about now, it was actually a real satellite. like a legitimate satellite. They were just showing in a display.
Yeah.
So CIA agents, with the help of some others and money, stole the damn thing.
That's some Hudson Hawk shit right there, dude. I love it.
Took us to a museum. They stole it. Took us to a museum. A warehouse. Took it apart. Photographed every ounce of the damn thing. Sent the photographs back to America. Put it back together and then put it back in the museum. It took them less than 24 hours to pull this off. It's dope as fuck.
That is. That's Hudson Hawk.
What's hilarious is that it happened to the Soviets, though, because historically they were the ones that were better at that than we were.
That's why it's like, oh yeah, that's why
it's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Prime example.
Yeah.
We did terrible in the intelligence world during the Cold War era, but there's a few little hijinks we do like that. Like when the Russians came out with their Mi-24 Hind helicopter. I think it's a fucking flying tank.
Yeah.
The Soviets are just making their engineers work 18-hour shifts while showing them pictures of them holding their family at gunpoint.
Well, we were and are a society that's always been focused on being more high tech. Whereas the Soviets, being as dirt poor as they were,
went for simplicity.
Manpower.
and low tech. Like, it's hard to defeat something that doesn't require a radio signal. For example, like it's hard to catch an agent that doesn't need to radio out.
Right.
For instance, whereas we were more of that. But again, we care about our people. So
that's what I mean.
Like, that's the thing.
They were probably having
the trade-off.
All the engineers and construction workers and all the people just like working them to fucking death.
So
100%.
That the spy it was called the Lunik plot, and that actually happened in 1959. By the way, just for timeline purposes, so we can stay on track with that. So, like I said before, we were at the time very, very far behind the technology. Well, not very, very far. I'm sorry. We were behind the technology as far as sending shit into space at the time. The Lunik project definitely helped with that when we were able to literally take apart a Soviet satellite and see how they did it, and then send it back to them. Like, oh,
there's just a small Kazakhstan boy inside of it with two pedals.
What the hell?
Smoking a cigarette.
There's a potato on a string in front of him, just trying his hardest and everything. Oh, this is
placebo compliment. All right, so moving on. And actually, I should have said the 59 part after this, but November of 57, though, Lenka went into space. Laika, I'm sorry. Yeah. Which I think we might have mentioned her before, maybe in one of our other episodes. We have a lot, so you know how it is. But Laika, RIP to a real one, was when the Soviets decided to send a freaking dog into space.
That's how you know,
with no plan on how to get it back down.
That's how you know
that's
they're the bad
every
guys.
one of their projects ever is. We achieved the goal. All right, bring them back. What?
We did talk about this. Yeah, I remember now. I do remember us talking about it.
So I'm going to keep this real brief because it is honestly a sad story because this dog unfortunately did die. It was part of the Sputnik 2 project. And Laika was straight out they found in the streets of Moscow and was sent in orbit around the Earth. So the first living creature from Earth to ever go around the Earth in orbit was a dog.
That's so wild as a dog. Like
you're
just homeless and some Russian dude's like, come here, boy. Come on. I got a little piece of meat, and then you're in space.
Well, I've always thought about it kind of from the perspective of, have you ever seen a dog try to stand in a van or something while it's driving, and now we're doing space?
That's just sad. But also, when I thought about like when you said like dangling a little piece of meat, like there's a dog following you now, about 100 other people that are just starving. Because again,
he's like,
Soviets.
no, not you, the dog.
They start shooting at him.
I do have a note because we sent monkeys into space. Right. So in 1949, we sent Albert II. He died because the parachute didn't deploy.
Right.
So
he had a parachute.
He did have a parachute. There was a plan. However, I have issue with the fact that his name was Albert II.
Yeah, what happened to one?
I also saw notes in there that some of these animals died on the launch pad because they hadn't figured out human life support yet.
Right. Right.
They still
Terrible.
launched the rocket.
They're trying to
course they
radio
did.
to the chimpanzee. They're like, you have to plug in the oxygen cable.
He's dead.
They're
He's
like,
dead.
Push the red button.
Yeah.
What is red?
Right. And how do I know your language? It's all in English, not in colors. So, but at least for Laika, she has a statue now. 2008, they built a statue, a small monument for Laika in Moscow outside of one of the aeronautical museums. So Laika is at least remembered for her contribution to science now, as of 2008, after a long time had passed. But at least they were done. She was done right at the end.
I wonder.
Many moon later.
I wonder how many memorials Gulag victims got.
About
Carrying
the
on.
Same as the Jewish people, they shot up into the atmosphere to test life support. Go back to our paperclip episode and see what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Anywho, so 1961, the first man in space was Yuri
Gagarin.
Gagarin. Thank you.
we go.
I am having trouble with words today. I've been hanging out with DJ too damn long.
Holy.
You're
That's just strange.
talking how he types.
So earlier when you talked about the Wile E. Coyote like on a rocket, so again, I'm going to emphasize this was literally just an ICBM that they were like,
Yeah.
we can fit a person in the warhead area.
Yep.
It's literally this should work, but in Russian.
Yeah, pretty much like they took the explosive out and put a man in.
A fucking essentially.
No, you are Warhead.
So the Soviets did not trust humans to operate anything. So it meant essentially this dude just sat in a chair the entire flight. That was it. He didn't do
sucks.
anything. He had a manual control, but that was only to be operated if the computer system failed. Otherwise, everything else was
No,
calculated.
1960s computers. Yeah,
he pulled his
1960s Soviet computers. These might as well have been the fucking Flintstones operating a
three
gerbil
small
wheel.
Kazakhstani boys inside of a box.
Let's see what come back.
He's got like the string with the can.
Instead of a radio, that's amazing.
I see more stars up here than I've ever seen potatoes in my life. How do I get down?
When you said the chasing the potato on the string, I thought of the word potato chaser. And I was like, I gotta add that to the list of words that sound racist but aren't racist.
It very well might be.
That is the most non-slur I've ever heard.
We've been having a lot of those lately. That's okay. That's okay. You heard it here first.
And they cheated this part
Yeah.
in that the general rule of thought was that if you left the Earth in a vehicle, you came back and landed in that same vehicle. He did not do that. They hadn't mastered fucking landing,
No.
so they ejected him out of the vehicle prior to landing. So they shot his ass out of this fucking
Landing.
Yeah, and they kept that a secret for a decade. And
Yeah.
the U.S. was like, "Fuck, they know how to land people." And the Soviets are like, "The fuck we do?"
See,
Shoot that
he was
man
in
up.
space. He's back on the ground.
Ejecto cedo, guys.
If his leg break, he is capitalist spy.
He was in space. Now on ground.
I'm just picturing like it crashing and then it ejects the guy out. It's like,
I wish I could make up words because I could do an accent okay, but I just
And to give you an idea, again, they automated all of this. Like
Right.
everything was under
That
a
sucks,
computer control. There was one, and I
so
don't,
like, did he not know when he was going to get
He's a-
ejected?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure he
I
did.
would be surprised if
pretty
they
sure
gave
he
is.
him
He's a
a
rocket.
little gauge to determine where in flight he was, let alone a goddamn clock.
It's like a roller coaster when they they do the countdown, but they do it on 2.
he's a rocket propelled parade float, is what you're saying.
There was another Soviet trial, and I didn't write down the name of this one, but essentially it was 3 guys in a capsule, and they were coming back down into the atmosphere. The capsule was designed. This sounds insane, even if it worked correctly.
It sounds like a joke, honestly.
They were coming back down, and the spacecraft is designed to open a hatch to allow air pressure in and to kind of like equalize, it helps slow them down, and they get breathable air. Because their astronauts or cosmonauts weren't in spacesuits. They were just in a vehicle.
Oh, yeah.
So this hatch was designed to let fucking air in so,
idea.
they can breathe. Guess what? They got the fucking timing off, so this hatch opened in fucking space, and they all suffocated.
I thought you were going to say in the atmosphere. It is hot in here, comrade.
So those three were the only three, like, as of this entire space race, to die in space.
Oh, they're still up there.
Oh, God.
Oh, no, they came back down. The craft landed, and then they
Landed.
They came back and, like, found the guys, and they were like, oh, they're all asleep. No, they're all fucking suffocated.
Jeez. All right, so I'm gonna keep pushing.
Sucks.
I'm gonna keep pushing. So let me see where we're at here. All right, so after Yuri and those dudes,
They died in space. They don't get a mention. They don't get a name.
Russian soup in a can.
yes. So after that, it was, let me see where I'm at. Okay, 1961. JFK announced that America would put a man on the moon by the end of the decade. That happened. He did not make it that far. So,
Nope. Although I do wonder, and there's no answer for it. I'm sure you've all wondered it too.
does his head just do that?
But
Back and to the left.
I do wonder how much our landing on the moon, when we did, how soon we did, came from the fact he was assassinated. How much of that drive came from, let's say, martyrdom?
It could have been part of it just to make the actual time happen.
There's no there's no right or wrong. I'm endlessly curious.
Sure. I mean, that would make sense. Didn't they name it the spaceport after him after that anyways?
Kennedy Space Center?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one down, that's the Florida one, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
I've seen that one.
Yeah,
I've never seen the one in Houston, but I've seen that one.
I think Florida is Kennedy. I think Houston's just Houston.
Yeah.
I think.
Sure.
Kennedy
Yeah.
is in Florida.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I've seen it in person. It's much larger than you would think it is, which is cool. But I'm like, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Anywho, all right, so where am I at here? So Kennedy had just do that. 1961. So 1962, John Glenn becomes the first American to orbit the Earth. He actually landed. Surprise, surprise.
Friendship 7.
So yes.
I don't know why that one makes me chuckle.
Yeah, essentially, like after JFK said, like, okay, like the Soviets are beating us in the current, because again, we didn't know that they couldn't actually land some shit, so we were playing catch up at the time. And in the true American way, we threw a lot of money at it, and that's what kind of ramps up this process. So John Glenn, first American to actually orbit the Earth. In 1963, I cannot help but mention this: the Valentina Tereshkova being the first woman in space. People think like, oh man, that's great. She was the first woman in space. It did not go that well for her in Russia. It was more of a spectacle than an actual like accomplishment. Like it was pretty much they were trying to do this not because they wanted to empower women, but they did it just to make fun of America. Essentially, like, oh look, America, even our women are in space. and that was it. So after that, 1965, Alexei Leonov becomes the first person to walk in space, quote unquote. Do you go ahead?
Did you see their motherfucking airlock system?
Yes, go ahead. You got it.
You have like this Peter laugh. That's like, it's just like these little creaks that are at the background.
So these motherfuckers are like, hey, we need to get somebody out into space. And so they design a spacesuit, and they're like, we don't know how to make an airlock. So essentially, y'all know what a fucking inflatable slide is, like the one Aaron had.
There was one here.
Yes, there was one here.
They essentially fucking bolted one of these to the side of their spacecraft and inflated it so they could open a hatch into this inflatable airlock.
This is what hunger does to science.
And then they would close the hatch and open their little fucking inflatable slide, and then the dude was outside in space. They did, however, almost fuck up because they overpressurized his spacesuit. So when he came back in to try to get into his spacecraft, he could no longer fit inside the hatch.
Yeah, he almost died.
You
He
know,
was too big to
Oh,
fit in
shit.
the door.
On-
And so he had to literally like mess with a fucking valve on his suit to let air out, and almost fucking passed out.
Yeah, he
from,
almost
like,
died.
Jesus.
you know, on this Soviet space slide,
Yes.
he might also be the first Russian to ever go, wee! They're not a happy people.
the first Soviets to actually have fun.
Experience
Just
joy.
a tear goes down his eye.
Oh, dude, if he actually gets back to Earth, it's like, comrade, why does your face look like that? Like, what is this smiling you're doing? Capitalist spy. Kills him immediately.
Well, I mean,
Does
like,
not stand a chance.
again, this dude was lucky he even had a fucking spacesuit. Because again, before the three fucking suffocated in space, they were just like, no, they're in a box. Why do they need a spacesuit?
they're in
What,
they're in
what
a
could
thing.
go wrong?
Yeah, it's like dressed like us is in space.
So close, so close. They're essentially in like jumpsuits.
That's wild.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah, they actually started giving people like, hey, maybe we should put them in spacesuits.
Right.
Maybe.
Right. So where am I here? Okay, so yeah, Lexi, he actually did last 12 minutes out in space. I did want to add that in there before he, like you said, got literally too fat to get back into his actual spaceship. He did live, but I heard he was in a great deal of pain though. When he finally did get back in there, like just the depressurization of his suit caused him a good amount of pain. So he was not having a good time. He was having a bad time.
Yeah,
But he
so
landed.
I mean, it's like
Is it like
when,
the reverse bends or something?
no, it is.
It
the
is
best.
the
Oh, it
Benz,
is-
actually.
it
It
is
is the
the
Benz,
Benz.
100%.
It's
Okay.
the same thing as like divers who come up too quickly. Of like you can
Oh,
dive
okay. I
very
was thinking it would be the opposite because you're in a
fast and
vacuum of space.
fast. Well, no, it's the same thing because you're down at
Oh.
great pressures.
Right.
Oh, okay, fair.
Uh,
But anyways, that's
I see
science.
what
We're gonna.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah.
I was thinking about it in the opposite order.
So let me see where we're at here. All right. So then back to America. We had Ed White was the first American to walk in space. 1966 is when two spacecrafts docked together in space. So they figured out docking.
Gemini 4,
Yep.
which they
Excuse
all
me.
call it Gemini. I found
I've
out
heard-
for some reason.
I've heard
And
both, and I don't. But Gemini, I heard a lot more. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that all.
I never noticed it until
Yeah.
doing research. I mean, like the space program isn't something I'm foreign to,
Right.
and everything. But yeah, just it was something I noticed this time, paying more attention. Yeah, Gemini.
And actually, I
said a
also
lot,
should
so
have
it made me
mentioned,
curious.
this is on me. I forgot to actually mention the Gemini or Gemini project was what America was there. So NASA and Gemini were working at
Oh,
the
I'm
same
with
time.
you, Gemini. I just
Yeah.
felt like bringing it up.
The Gemini project, the NASA project, were actually working in tandem to get people into space. They were not the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
though. They were two different projects.
Was that Grumman's?
I think Grumman's was
Because I know they
Gemini.
made, well, I know they made the well, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the non-NASA part.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because I know Grumman made the lunar module.
Which was Gemini as well. I'm pretty sure.
I know it was Apollo. I don't know about Gemini.
Oh shit! Yeah, I can't,
Yeah,
it's-
I'm not sure.
I'm actually muddled in that
But
one too. That's on
anyway.
me. So yeah, I forgot to mention that earlier. Sorry about that. I should have actually mentioned that. So yeah. Anyways, so 1966, two spacecrafts figured out docking.
Heyo.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That was this little.
It's like I just imagine the spaceships like in space, and then you just hear.
I really hope people know why we're laughing and don't Google it. You don't want that on your search history.
John's Googling it right now.
that's already a tab.
Just hear, oh my God.
So we also did have there were a couple other like probes outside of just the moon missions.
So we're talking about docking and probes. Fantastic.
Hell
Carry
yeah.
on.
So in 1966 we had the
Yes.
1966
Professionals.
we have the Luna 9 from the Soviets. It was the first probe to do a soft landing on the moon. Soft. And then we have
So is that like a touch and go kind of thing?
It's a dust up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you skip?
It didn't stay there. I'm pretty sure. It didn't like land and take back off.
I don't think it took back
okay.
off.
Right.
Then we also, well, so Well, it gets why it's probably considered a soft landing, because it was like a controlled landing. Whereas this next program, the Venera was not designed to be soft in any way. Venera was the U.S. Soviet program to go and look at Venus, because nobody knew fucking jack shit about the planet. So they started launching probes at it. The one thing to know about Venus is that motherfucker is hot. So they actually, there's a theory that Venus at one point used to be like Earth. But essentially had way too much naturally occurring CO2.
They still call it our twin.
They said greenhouse gases took off like a motherfucker, and essentially the planet just turned into a fucking hot box.
So it's for those playing the home game, it's the second planet in the solar system, but it's hotter than Mercury is.
Its surface temperature is 870 degrees Fahrenheit.
Woo!
So it's a little toasty. So the first few probes they sent at it, I think the first two just fucking missed.
I'm not gonna lie, I do love how your entire spiel, and it's probably just me being a deviant, but it's almost an analogy for a nightclub situation. Of the guys didn't know how hot Venus was, so we just started sending probes. Just sending guys over to the bar to find out what her deal is.
We've been there.
Yeah. So they start sending probes. I think the first two missed. The third one made it, but essentially burned up in the atmosphere because it just got too hot to operate. They eventually started getting them down there, and they used like an unconventional way to cool the thing, because like normal heat sinks weren't fucking working.
That's a lot.
They essentially just put blocks of lithium into just surrounded all the dead space in this aircraft with lithium. And lithium has a relatively low melting point, so it melts very fast, but when it melts, it absorbs a ton of energy. And so it takes a lot of energy from it to turn to a solid, to a liquid,
becomes a coolant.
Yeah, well, not becomes a coolant,
Well,
but
I mean,
as it's melting, it's sucking in a lot of that heat.
Well, I guess that's kind of what I mean. Its properties.
And so essentially, they just started fucking loading this thing down with lithium, and the entire front half of this probe was just an impact thing. This thing was designed to just plow its way into the side of the planet.
Hard as fuck, baby.
Again, nightclub analogy.
Beam out information and then die. Their record.
This is my purpose.
For references, the Venera 3-1 I think made it literally seconds of information came out of it before it died. Venera 7 lived for 23 minutes and then died. 9 and 10, about 53 minutes. And then Venera 13 lasted for 2 hours.
Hell yeah.
Marathon.
Oh, yeah. That was the one that had
yeah.
a little boost. Right there.
That first one was just the first pump chump.
Oh, yeah, man. Then you got to figure it out.
That blue chew probe.
Oh, yeah.
The second time, it was like, okay, I kind of think I know the kinks and everything. You know? And then the third time, he's like, I'm fucking...
I just want to know,
we're going to save this for the Patreon. Anyways.
I just want to know, they sent, the first few there, and oh, so apparently it's hot as a motherfucker there. And I'm like, what else? What else do you need to know about the planet? It's fucking essentially ball of fire. Don't go there.
Do it again. We have the money.
Honestly, though.
Send more.
Third time's the charm.
So, all right, we're almost caught up. So, 1967, Apollo 1, unfortunately, for those that don't know the story, I'm going to keep it real brief. So, Apollo 1, 1967, there were 3 astronauts. It was Virgil Gus Grissom, Edward White, and Roger Caffey. They were in the middle of testing. They were still on the ground. This happened on the ground. They were in the middle of testing their pod. Was going to go into space, and unfortunately, it was an oxygen-rich environment, and there was a spark. You know what happens with a lot of oxygen and a spark? You have a fire. Fire's going to burn out of control. They unfortunately burned alive in the cockpit, which naturally did present a problem to the space race on the American side, because people thought, okay, cool, we're going to send people into space. There's been a lot of accidents before this, but I mean, nobody's really died from this process yet, for America's side at least. It's relatively safe. Should be, at least.
That's our attitude towards it.
Well, so
our people.
What
happened
in a lot of these instances is America publicized all of their launches. It was a major spectacle. They filmed it. They had news crews. So when shit happened, it happened on camera. Russia, a lot of their programs, if it didn't go well, nobody fucking knew about it. They had one of their rocket programs that could compete with Apollo 11, and all 4 of them fucking exploded on launch pad.
On Tuesday, come see our rocket launch. Come see it on Wednesday. What is rocket?
To the point that if astronauts died, pictures would be altered so their faces are removed from anything. So they were essentially deleted.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
But yeah, their Apollo program, essentially
Insert Orwell's 1984 here.
Yeah, it was one of the programs we didn't find out till like decades later about because like we didn't know it existed because it just kept it kept exploding. Real good way to hide something. And 2, nobody fucking talked about it.
Yeah, what was that boom? What do you mean?
What do you mean? I'm making popcorn.
I overcooked borscht. You don't cook borscht. Yes, you do.
So you had something to say about Gus Grissom too, didn't you?
Yeah. Gus Grissom is a Hoosier native. Was rest in peace. And he actually has a museum down in Mitchell, Indiana. I visited fairly recently, and because he's what happened?
Oh, he dropped his vape.
It's like the 4th time. Keeps sliding off my fucking shorts.
So he was from southern Indiana. A lot of astronauts are from Indiana. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he has a museum dedicated to just him down in Mitchell, his hometown, and it's also where it's inside of Spring Mill State Park, which is one of my favorite state parks so far. Because they got it's crazy. Because you have kind of both ends of it of time. You have a pioneer village, and then you have the space age, and the same. It's
quite the dichotomy.
I mean they actually have a working grist mill there.
Okay.
Yeah. So then all the way up to the space race or space age there with a capsule.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
It's really cool.
Also, only you would have a favorite state park in Indiana. So, and also like the amount of astronauts from Indiana is it's a staggering amount, and it just makes me think like, oh yes, Indiana is so great. They want you got to go to space to get away from it. So
it's up to 30 if you count people that were educated here.
Well, yeah, because you have Purdue.
It's a little unclear as to definitely a dozen that were born here. From what I found, but yeah, it goes as high as 30 if you count the people that were just educated here.
Well, yeah, I mean, Purdue University is a fantastic engineering school. I mean, I was when I was at Purdue, I was actually going for engineering. I am not that smart. That's why I'm not an engineer right now. So don't do it. But anyways, yeah, I'm not that. But it's like my job title actually does have engineer in it, but I don't fucking know.
Mechanical engineing though.
I just don't. Yeah. I don't know math.
I don't want to know math that intimately.
No, I'm straight.
Although the movie Apollo 13 makes me want to work with those people. Sure. Like at some point we stopped having colleagues and just went to having coworkers. And there is a difference. There is a difference.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. So let's talk about Apollo 1. The very next year, Apollo, I'm skipping from 1 to 8. So bear with me, just so we can actually get this, get to Apollo 13. So Apollo 8, I wanted to mention just because Jim Lovell was actually part of it.
That's where where he starts with the Apollo program, at least.
Right. So Apollo 8 was the first, there was a lot that happened with it too, actually. So Apollo 8 was the first crewed mission to leave Earth and travel to the moon. They didn't land on it, but they went to it.
Orbited it.
They orbited the moon. And a lot came out of that. So this was actually manned by a 3-man team. Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, who just recently passed, and William Anders.
And Frank Borman also being from Indiana.
I was getting there, actually.
Okay.
So, Frank Borman. He was born in my hometown. I got to rep him a little bit.
Hell yeah.
So, Frank Borman was born in 1928 in Gary, Indiana. Shout out to the G. So
and the highway is named after him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Borman Expressway is named for Frank Borman. Unfortunately, they actually didn't stay in Indiana that long. As a kid, he had some respiratory issues, so they moved to a drier climate. But it's still cool. Like, he still said, like, yeah, I'm born and raised in Gary.
Yeah, I did a project on him in elementary school.
I wish I did. Yeah. That would have been way better.
Nice.
So, and also the other one, because we're going to get to Lovell eventually, I'm going to bring up William Anders real quick, because he was born in 1933 in British Hong Kong. So, yeah.
Oh, that one I didn't know.
Yeah, actually, it's interesting, the correlation story-wise between William Anders' father and Captain Kirk, Star Trek, his father.
Okay.
There's similarities here, and you're going to see what I mean by that. So William Anders, he was born, as I said before, British Hong Kong. His father was the executive officer on a ship that was at the moment evacuating civilians from the Sino-Japanese War was going on. So obviously we've never really dove into details about that war, but we have definitely talked about it before, about just the atrocities that Japan inflicted upon China. But his dad was working at the time as an executive officer on a ship that was evacuating civilians from China because of the war. His dad went from executive officer to captain because the captain was killed during an assault. They essentially got bombed, and their ship was sinking. His father took over, evacuated everybody from the boat. Most people survived, and he ended up escaping his injury. He ended up escaping. He lived from his injuries, but the dichotomy between, okay, like, wait a minute, your dad and Captain Kirk's dad were both captains on a ship, became commanding officers because of a death, and then still managed to evacuate all the civilians from a ship that ended up sinking. There's a correlation there, and I looked it up to see if that was on purpose. It wasn't, apparently, but it's right there.
Was that dude also knocking motherfuckers out
with one punch?
Every time he
We're not starting the Star Trek fighting thing again. I swear to God.
That'll be another episode. But yeah, so he ended up having injury. Like there's actually more to the story of his father, but I just thought that was really interesting that those two things were very comparable.
Huh.
So anyways,
that's weird.
The other thing though about Apollo 8 is that it was the first to see the far side of the moon. And they also took the picture, like, so if you ever seen a picture of the moon with the Earth rising over it, that was from this. That was from Apollo 8. Infamous picture. It was also the first one to ever use the Saturn V rocket to crew a mission, with a crewed mission to space. So Saturn V rocket, obviously, the rocket that was eventually used in Apollo 13, I believe, was Saturn V too. Yeah. So the first time it was actually used by a crew, because the Saturn before that were all horrible and kept blowing the fuck up. So the Saturn 1 through 4, awful. There's so many of them that were exploded. It was
trustworthy and reliable. There are words I would use to describe them.
Yeah, they were reliably exploding.
Yes. Could trust they will explode.
guaranteed to blow up.
Guaranteed to blow up. Thankfully, they were mostly I think they were all unmanned. Like all the prior Saturn rockets that they were testing.
Just a fucking expensive firework.
There were a lot of them that were unmanned. That's why, like, in Apollo stuff, typically people only refer to 1 and then 8 because most of the Apollo missions were unmanned.
Yeah, there's a lot of explosions.
And also a lot of
explosions. Anyways, so yeah, that's why I just skipped right to 8 because I'm like, well, we need to get the not make this a freaking 2-hour episode. So anyways, we're about here. Oh, and they read the passages from the Book of Genesis. So if you've ever heard the passages that was read, it was actually on Christmas Eve too, which is kind of cool. They read the passages of creation. So God created the heavens and the earth, and it was good. Yeah, that they actually read live on the radio, and it was broadcasted around the country. So you could actually hear a radio transmission from this mission, and that's what it was. And it's been used in like a bunch of movies, and it's such a well-known. I mean, it's also the Book of Genesis, so I mean, pretty much everybody should know it. But it was they were reading that as they were orbiting around the moon, which is kind of cool. So, and there's actually a video of them doing that too, because they recorded the entire thing. They brought a video camera with them for science and stuff, science stuff. They were also up there to figure out how to land. Like they were able to orbit the moon. They need to sort that out, of course, and then they need to figure out how they could, if possible, land on the moon and then get picked back up. So, kind of important whole thing. Anywho, moving forward, 1969, Neil Armstrong, Edward Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins were launched into space and landed on the moon. So I wasn't going to cover too much of that. It's so well known.
Yeah.
We landed on the fucking moon.
We drove over to the moon. We picked up some rocks and we came back. We walked in the moon. Nobody cares.
Planted a flag. Put some footprints down. One small step for man. Blah blah blah.
We were never there.
Yeah, drove over to Stanley Kubrick's garage and filmed the thing.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah, that shit still drives me fucking nuts. But okay.
Anyway. We should do a flat Earth episode.
I'm not bringing one of them into my home.
I don't blame you,
I was
but
going to say I could probably find somebody that
I know like 3.
you know
I'm not bringing them in. I don't know where I live at.
we can get down to
Nope.
brass tacks. Yeah.
Like, because it's all going to be like they're going to be sitting where you're sitting at. We're going to be armed, staring at them. Like the fuck. Don't make any sudden movements.
Go ahead.
Just
Tell me.
Explain yourself.
Tell me.
right.
Explain yourself.
And I want to like blindfold them before they even come into my home too. Like I don't want them to know where I live. Like if they're stupid enough not to believe in the Earth being round, I don't know what other kind of stupid shit they might do in my presence.
We gotta like snatch and grab them and
Here,
bring
go
them
ahead. Point on this sphere where you think you are right now.
We can just go. We can help him out with a map, I guess.
I just
That's
picture
flat.
like we're gonna like interrogate him like Batman. Like he's just gonna wake up in a room and Aaron's just gonna be like, "Where are you?" Just start like fucking beating the shit out of him.
I'm okay with that.
Make him swear on a globe.
And we're just watching. We're like, "Oh shit, we gotta stop him!" Like, holy fuck,
No,
No.
I wouldn't.
it's out of hand.
Let him
I
go.
wouldn't. The bloodlust is taken over at that point. Oh man! All right. So yeah, that was essentially what I had leading up to the space race, leading up to the moon landing. Of course, that was Apollo 11. 12 was another mission to the moon. 13 was supposed to have been a mission to the moon. That didn't go so well. So I'll let y'all take over.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So before we start this, I actually, when I was 4 years old, we were in Disney World, and that's a whole another story how we got there, which
Disney
is
World
crazy.
existed then? Like 1800s?
God damn.
Ben, shoot him.
Go ahead.
Thinking
That
about
was a
it.
good one. I'll give you.
It
that.
wasn't a good one. You can hear him piecing it together as he was saying it. Fuck this guy.
Right, like because you feel like is you, then him, then it's me, then Ben. Like he's not even the oldest one here.
Yeah, you're like 2 years
You're
younger than me.
all old.
But we were in. What year would that have been? That would have been 93.
Like
1993.
1893, yeah.
God damn.
The window's not too small for you, John.
Not if it's in pieces.
No.
So when Ron Howard, he was the director of Apollo 13 while he was making
movie.
that movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
The movie.
Not the flight director.
Yeah.
It's a good distinction.
But yeah, he was at Disney World, and my dad had recognized him. And this was like before my dad got the Alzheimer's.
How did he get his attention? I have to know.
He's like-
was he like, hey, happy days?
My dad strong armed him and basically like he had some popcorn. He's like, hey, you want some of this popcorn? And Ron Howard and his security guard were like, no. He's like, why don't you take a picture of my fucking kids over here? You know? Yeah. And then we took a picture with Ron Howard.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then I watched my brother go on all these roller coasters because I was too short to ride anything. I watched my brother have the time of his life.
You know what's funny? I think aren't you taller than your brother now?
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Hilarious.
Flew right past him.
That is really cool, though.
Yeah, didn't you tell that story on our Patreon once?
I think I told the story of how I got to Disney World.
Okay, well, if you guys want to hear that, our Patreon,
Yeah.
the Aftertaste, it's called Aftertaste. If you guys ever want to hear our Patreon, it's like $1 a month. And we have, 9 or 10 episodes on there, I think, somewhere on that
Yeah,
range.
somewhere around there.
And we need to record another one of those. It's been a minute. I know Ben mentioned earlier,
It's going to be 10 today.
but
John's got things to say.
I am hot.
Yeah,
But yes.
The long and short of it is basically my dad's sued a semi-truck company and won and took all of the money and took the whole family to Disney World and bought a TV.
When you said there was a story, I thought you were going to say there was just an interesting road trip.
Oh no, my dad sued a fucking semi-truck company and got a bunch of money and blew it all in 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
Hell
Took
yeah.
us to Disney World, flew us first class. We bought the biggest TV at the time, which was a 35-inch Toshiba, about the size of this fucking table.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I don't know how much money it was. Probably like 25 grand. He just
I mean, I would do the same thing
Yeah.
and then just kill myself at the end. Or,
And you have the gall to mark me suicidal on fucking Facebook, you son of a bitch.
by association.
All right.
So, Apollo
Back to 13,
Apollo
thank you.
13,
Apollo 13.
the seventh crewed Apollo mission,
Yes.
intended to be the third lunar landing.
Yes.
Their motto was Ex Luna Scientia. I might be mispronouncing that, but from the moon knowledge, Latin to English. And it was adapted from the U.S. Naval's Academy, or Academy's motto, Ex Scientia Tridents. Anyway, primary objective was to land on or in the Fra Mauro Highlands. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce some of this, but
I'm going to summon a demon in my house again.
so thought to be formed from material ejected by the massive Imbrium impact, giving insight into the moon's early history. So basically, where a giant, or quote unquote giant, but a big asteroid or meteorite slammed into the moon because the previous lunar landings were just on the surface, checking it out, this, that, and the other. This was going basically into a crater, or at least that's where exploration would be. I don't know that the landing would be in the crater, but going into a massive impact crater to see what is more or less what is beneath the surface of the moon to judge its composition. Let's see here. So other primary objectives were deploy the Apollo Lunar Surface Experiments Package, also known as ALSEP, for long-term seismic and environmental measurements, collect and return lunar rocks and soil samples, which I think they kind of all did, especially older highland material, going off of what I said, and then conduct geological surveys on foot using new tools like lunar rake and core tubes. And I love the idea of the lunar rake because in my mind it's just a $40,000 yard tool that some contractor upsold the government.
Add another zero to that.
Like, we got this at Ace.
Yeah, we'll fucking Mars, Uranus, the moon, whatever you want. We'll rake it up. This thing will get it all. Wherever you want to go.
This rake works in a lot of different places.
I'll rake the gas. I'll rake whatever you want. You know.
So and
Raking
actually,
that money.
Because you're talking about like what people were bringing back for the moon, I just have to mention what happened last week, where the dude allegedly, this is from People Magazine, so who knows how true it is, but a man who was an intern at NASA stole a $21 million lunar rock from NASA to use during sex as a promise to his girlfriend when he promised her the moon. This happened 6 days ago.
How do you value a lunar rock?
Wait.
How much the fucking mission cost?
That
I mean, fair, but
explain
we
that
don't
again.
former NASA intern Thad Roberts and several accomplices stole a 17-pound moon rock from NASA in 2002.
And he promised it to his girlfriend.
He promised her the moon.
But
They've been dating for 2 weeks.
But is an astronaut's life insurance policy $21 million? I'm just saying.
So yeah, apparently him and his girlfriend had sex on top of the rocks because no one had ever had sex on the moon before. This is coming from People Magazine.
You know what? I get it.
I get it.
I do a lot of shit to that rock.
I don't think that guy. I don't think that guy had sex before either.
It lasted 2 seconds, but it was worth it.
Blast off. Anyway,
He gets arrested. I have the moon inside of me.
They're like, "Where's the rock?"
I am the moon.
Yeah, actually, I'm finding it on like a bunch of different articles here. This actually did happen, but I don't know why it was in the news again 6 days ago. But it happened in 2002. Maybe he was finally convicted or something. I don't know. You know how fucking shit. I don't know why it's brought up now. But anyway,
what do you do if you're the judge? I'd be like, "Nice, dude. That's awesome."
well, I mean, it's theft. Regardless of value, it's
Oh,
still
so
theft.
somebody owns the moon now? Fuck you guys.
No, somebody retrieved the item. It's
Somebody
theirs.
fucking call Guinness Book of World Records. You know.
yeah, he was actually only sentenced to 8 years in prison, which honestly not bad. That's
For stealing a rock. No, that's bullshit.
I hope that
a
sex
rock from
was,
the moon.
yeah.
It's still breaking and entering. It's still all those other crimes to take the moon out of it. I mean,
I hope
I'm there for it.
I hope the
Somebody
sex is
else
worth
is having
it, yeah.
sex with him right now.
That's what his girlfriend had to say. Take that moon out of there.
Anyway, so the spacecraft that was Apollo 13 consisted of the command module, otherwise known as Odyssey, the service module, and then the lunar module, otherwise known as Aquarius. Basically, your command module is the cruise control and re-entry capsule. The service module carried oxygen tanks, fuel cells, and propulsion, or responsible for those things. And then the lunar module is, I hope I don't have to explain it, the module that lands on the moon.
What's the moon?
So, April 11th, 1970, from Kennedy Space Center, the guy whose head just did that.
Thank you.
That was the launch date for Apollo 13. My personal favorite thing about Apollo 13 is how anti-superstitious the astronauts are. In this, there's very much a why didn't you number it or name it something else?
Oh, because number 13.
Yeah, because it comes after 12.
Right.
Is kind of the attitude of the astronauts in the space program. I really enjoy that.
Well, I mean, I can kind of see that because, like, if you look at the quality of the people that were astronauts, they were all fucking test pilots for the most part.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
they were used to just risking their lives for the fucking meme.
Oh,
so
yeah,
they were just up there doing it.
Push it to the limit.
Exactly. So, like, why not add another fucking thing to this?
And that was the thing was, I think it was Ken Mattingly. I think before he got pulled off for measles, I think he was the one that said, I wish we were launching on Friday the 13th. Like,
I think I've heard that quote before.
I think it was him. But yeah, anyway, the Saturn V rocket launched Apollo 13 successfully. The 1 second stage engine shut down early. The remaining engines compensated, and which was interesting because Apollo 13 is responsible for that. It's called like a pogo effect. So basically, I don't know if it was all the engines. This one was the center engine, in which basically it's like a pogo stick, and the inertia from the engine is causing it to basically go up and down, real rapidly, and minute but rapidly, and more or less it could, if that problem hadn't been addressed for future space flights, it could have blown up a future space flight. So yeah, Apollo 13 was the one that got that problem remedied.
Yeah.
I like it when I'm riding on a giant bomb and then someone's like, oh, that could have killed everybody. We'll make sure to fix that on future ones.
Well, and
I'm glad we figured that out.
I would like it when I'm riding on the giant bomb for all problems to be fixed before riding on the giant bomb.
It's not a bomb until it blows up, but
we should probably talk about the crew and like the training and a little bit of that before the actual launch, because like you mentioned, Ken Mattingly was part of the original crew, but they didn't launch with the original crew. So like when they
2/3 of it,
if you guys could imagine when they pick a crew to go on an Apollo mission, this is picked like years in advance, and then these guys are given like a year or so to actually train and get ready and develop a chemistry with your crew. Because if it's going to be the three of you guys with no fucking privacy for expecting whatever to go out in space, you got to be in tight with these guys. So the original crew which we've been talking about, was Jim Lovell, which was going to be the commander. Ken Mattingly was going to be the command module pilot, and Fred Hayes Jr. was going to be the lunar module pilot. Ken Mattingly contracted the measles from his son.
Well, he became exposed.
Yeah, he was exposed to it. Yeah,
and he was the only person in the primary and the backup crew to not ever have had it.
He wasn't immune to it.
So he didn't have any immunity to it.
So basically, they had like
German measles, actually. Rubella.
The Germans.
The measles.
Strikes again.
The training for this includes stuff, the command module simulator, which is going to be like navigation and emergency situations, lunar module simulation, descent and ascent drills on how to deal with landing and taking off the moon. And then they did survival training, geology field training, a lot of stuff. So they call a meeting when they find this out. They do all the health checks. His kid gets the measles. He's exposed to it. And they basically are telling, Jim Lovell and the crew, like, so Ken's not going anymore. We got a new guy for you.
Well, yeah, I think either Ken cannot go, or you can all not.
Yeah, or they're going to
You can all get recycled to a later.
They would do a whole entire new crew, basically.
Because at least Jim Lovell was no, I think it was all of them were not supposed to be on Apollo 13. It was supposed to be. Fuck! I should have written it down. I cannot remember because it's actually a known name. But they were supposed to be Apollo 14. And then somebody else on Apollo 13, the original Apollo 13, they got sick or something. But this is a year out when you say original. Or maybe not a year, but a long ways out. And somebody on that crew got sick, so they got recycled out. These guys became Apollo 13. And then it was 2-3 days before launch that Ken Mattingly got.
No. Well, when they got notified of what they were going to do, it was 7 days.
It was 7 days?
The training that they did was like 2 or 3 days. because at that point they had to make a decision. And once they had made a decision, they was like, okay, training starts now, like on the clock. Because they pick a backup crew for like when they go to the Apollo, so they have a position. It's not like they just picked an astronaut and woke him up and like, hey, you're going to fucking space. I mean, they kind of did, but he had already had training for this. The backup crew,
but he was trained with the backup crew.
Yeah, the backup crew would have been John Young, which would have been the backup commander, Jack Swigert, which is the guy who's going to be replacing Ken Mattingly, and then Charlie Duke. That was going to be their backup crew. The original crew, Lovell and all them, didn't want to do this because they were like, man, fuck Jack. If you guys watch Apollo 13, Jack Swigert is played by Kevin Bacon.
Yep.
And I don't think they could have picked a better actor to play like the young backup guy that nobody wants to work with.
I don't think they could have picked a better
and it's
set
quite
of actors.
Possibly the only movie that Kevin Bacon hasn't shown his penis. If I think about it correctly.
I don't think that should be something we think about correctly.
That's that's just a weird statistic.
You know?
Yes, it is. I am unsettled.
Does he?
So yeah, like you said, you got to imagine they had a total of 3 days basically to train this guy, get him used to the crew, and send him on this fucking space mission. You know, which is pretty crazy. That is pretty cool though. Like if you were the backup crew, you know.
Yeah.
That's like fucking fourth quarter, like football shit, you know, quarterback like breaks his arm.
Well, and I don't know. It's cool just to see the inner workings of the U.S. space program, and that none of these things just ride on one, one item, whether it's a crew, a piece of equipment,
bad weather,
or any of it. Yeah. There's all these different steps.
Yeah, imagine going like day of launch and then like a fucking storm comes in.
Right.
And it's like, well, yeah, fuck you guys. See you next year. You know.
Yeah. So So anyway, on the 11th they launch, and for about 56 hours, they're good. They're good. Other than that one engine, and then it was even commented that it looks like we had our glitch for the mission. Because every single space mission has had something go wrong, which why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But
like you said, they were doing like they were rock stars, so they were doing like almost live coverage.
They were pioneers
of like TV footage. They did the footage of them doing no gravity, floating, and they were people in America are getting this awesome footage of these rock stars for the first time. Like, look, we're on the way to the moon. Everything's cool. You know, all systems go. Nothing to worry about here. What could go wrong?
Plot twist. And then, 56 hours into the mission, a loud bang shakes the spacecraft, followed by warning lights and alarms. Swigert radioed the now famous words, "Houston, we've had a problem here." In the movie, you hear, "Houston, we have a problem."
Right.
But the actual code is, "Houston, we've had a problem here," and it was from Swigert, not Jim Lovell. This was, not due to, but this happened immediately after Swigert stirs the oxygen tanks, basically stirring the contents of the tanks. Why, I'm not entirely certain, but I'm not an astronaut. But basically, there is a spark due to damaged wiring. One from earlier ground testing, and where you had a damaged tank. But then also years prior, the thermostat for that tank was wired with the wrong amperage. So all of these contractors got the memo about the amperage being required to increase by NASA. This guy that was responsible for the thermostat never got that memo. So that's what causes all this. It's just basically the wrong amperage, something sparks, and boom.
As a former member of corporate America, one off email can throw a wrench in a lot of shit. It's actually kind of funny that's how that went. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's literally as simple as that. So this one item, and then again,
I sent you.
And then again, an oxygen tank that was essentially dropped at one point, inspected, given the all clear. So now I'm sure if they even touch the ground anymore, I'm sure they just chuck them. I at least I hope so. That's what I'm thinking. So anyway, yeah, Oxygen 2 and the service module exploded due to damaged wiring from earlier ground testing. And then after the explosion, oxygen is venting into space, leading to near total loss of breathable air in the CM command module. Fuel cells lost power since they required oxygen. The command module's life support and electrical systems are essentially dead. And then with the service module crippled, continuing the mission was impossible. So,
also the temperature in the spaceship dropped severely while they were in there.
Well, not yet. That's when they start shutting the power down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's when they start
eventually.
Yeah, that's when they start with the power conservation.
Mm-hmm.
So aborting the moon landing, the lunar landing was more or less immediately canceled. I guess once they shut down those fuel cells, they can't turn them back on. And Mission Control plotted you have two options. Do we turn around now? Do we make a U-turn? On the solar system highway there, or do you go around the moon and use its gravity to slingshot you back? They went with
because it's like you only have power for one move, and you have to make it quickly.
Yes,
because every second you're using up the power.
Yes.
So you either, like you said, shut off the power, use the gravity of the moon to swing around, turn back on the power. Or you just save everything you have now and turn around immediately.
It's like describing it as far as like, because everyone else was like, just fucking turn around. Like the amount of energy it would take to bring this thing that's flying at tens of thousands of miles an hour through space, and just to turn it, you'd probably miss the Earth and you'd go flying off into space.
It's also moving on an additional axis now. Yeah, because of the venting.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you're in zero gravity, so you got something going this way working against you, and you don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
Shit, awesome. They don't know if they can use the main engine anymore, so they don't. That's the other reason they end up going around the moon.
Also, technically, wouldn't they have not been in zero gravity? The actual object in flight not been in zero gravity because they were heading towards the moon, which has its own pull?
Oh, they weren't even close. Well, I'm sorry. They were close to it, but they weren't that close to it yet. Yeah. And actually, that does remind me of something I didn't write down because I didn't know where the hell I would put it. But it was pointed out to me that this happening where it did was the best possible thing that could have happened. If it happened earlier or later in the mission, they all would have died for various different reasons, depending on where it was.
Physics and stuff, yes.
Yeah, well, real early in the mission, you wouldn't have had the power and the oxygen to even get to the moon and then come back. And then if it had happened post moon, a whole list of other things. Yeah. You wouldn't have had the lunar module as a backup engine. To steer the damn thing. So it's like this is the only place in its journey that this disaster could have happened and they could have survived. So kind of cool. Never thought about it until that was pointed out.
Yeah, right on.
So using the lunar module as a lifeboat, the lunar module, or LM, but they pronounce it LEM. Aquarius became the astronauts' emergency shelter. It had been designed for 2 men for about 45 hours, but now had to keep 3 men alive for nearly 90 hours until re-entry. Let's see here. Power conservation. This is what DJ was alluding to. So all unnecessary systems were shut down. The LEM's guidance computer and displays were used only when absolutely needed. Heaters were turned off, plunging the cabin into near freezing temperatures. I think they were hovering somewhere around 34 to 38 degrees. Let's see here. Water rationing. The LEM only carried about 2.5 gallons of water. Drinking water was rationed to about, I don't know why I wrote 6 ounces, 0.2 liters a day. And crew members endured dehydration and weight loss to conserve supplies. All 3 of them, I think, lost 14 pounds each.
Damn.
In this time frame, I believe it was 14 pounds each. And they were only in space for like 7 days. I want to go on that diet.
Fred Hayes also got a kidney infection
Yes.
just from the lack of water
Yeah.
that they were drinking and all the elements. So he started, which was played by Bill Paxton's character
Yeah.
in the movie. I
And
like to
he's-
put faces to it
Yeah. No,
You know.
100%.
Yeah.
He spiked a 104-degree fever up there too.
in space.
While,
Space Fever.
Yeah,
Ah.
while he was
It's a good band name if you just put space and like whatever word, Space Bomb, Space Fever.
Don't start another band. You already got
Don't
two.
take those. Those are my band names.
Okay.
The LEM's oxygen tanks became the sole source of breathable air. Careful monitoring was required to stretch the supply across all 3 crew members. This is where they started getting carbon dioxide poisoning because they're in a space that's only designed for 2 people for 45 hours. They're already using up that time. And basically it cannot keep up with what they are exhaling.
I'm pretty sure there's a scene in the movie where Kevin Bacon starts freaking the fuck out and Tom Hanks has to set him straight.
Not for the carbon dioxide. He just starts doing this kind of stuff, like because he starts getting tunnel vision and everything.
I haven't seen the movie in a while.
So okay, well, because we're talking about it though, in the movie, it's probably one of the few times where it's honestly a great thing that Hollywood took liberties with the storytelling, because if you listen to the tapes, not that I listen to all of them, but trusting people that have, if you listen to the tapes, the recordings from NASA and everything, it is so ungodly boring.
I can see that.
because they're all so fucking professional. They are all so locked in and know what they're doing. They're not scared. I mean, at least they're not projecting that they're scared or terrified. It is so frigging boring. So like when you see Kevin Bacon and Bill Paxton at each other's throats, because I mean, honestly, it's ridiculous to think that anybody would be mad at his character for he flipped a switch. There's nothing he can mess up, but you're going to portray him as incompetent to have that drama there, because there's no other way for them to convey the stakes of the situation with storytelling.
Sure.
And everything. So if you actually listen to the stuff that from the actual event, it is so boring.
I can see that.
Because they know what they're doing. And it's awesome.
I feel like you would hear the explosion, and then you just hear him go, whoops.
Like,
Like not even like a
Oh,
fucking...
hey, the giant bomb. Bomb we're
it's-
traveling on through space had an explosion. Like, I mean, that shit
There's a
happens.
huge difference between Tom Hanks and the way he says, Houston, we have a problem, and versus, we've had a problem here.
Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah,
but also at the same time, I mean, they were trying to conserve oxygen too, so they probably weren't talking much unless they absolutely had to.
oh no, sure, but yeah, it's just, it's just not what you would think. Like, I wouldn't want to be up there. I would be freaking out.
Yeah.
The
It's a
whole-
good point. They did a
you
really
know.
good job of giving it a little bit of drama, but not going over the top.
Yeah, and because they had to, because nobody would watch the movie otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So So anyway, the LM's or LEM, the LEM's lithium hydroxide CO2 scrubbers couldn't handle 3 men. So the command module had plenty of scrubbers, and this is true. It's in the movie, but this is true. They were square cartridges and didn't fit the LEM's round receptacles.
Yeah, that was a really cool scene in the movie. Like probably one of my favorites, because they go back to the command station, which was another cool part of the movie. They showed how stressed everyone was at the command station, because they're like, fuck, how do we get them back?
Yeah.
So they just put a bunch of engineers and scientists in a room, and they come out with a box of tools of the exact items that they would have in the spaceship, and they just throw them on the table, and they're like, we need to fit this square peg into this round hole. And they just fucking dumped it, and they were like, okay, we'll be back in like a couple hours. And they did. That's exactly,
You throw engineers and enough caffeine to kill several elephants into a room, we'll get
They
fucking
threw
shit
like
done.
a box of cigarettes, a fucking, a whole package.
And-
Just let them do the thing,
And if you watch the movie,
Yeah.
This is government issued
so much-
methamphetamine.
there's so much. There's so much smoking in Apollo 13.
There really is.
God, I've never wanted a cigarette more.
They might as well be in the command module fucking smoking.
But while we're on the subject, though, and the movie depicts that fairly well. But what it leaves out, and understandably so for storytelling purposes, a lot of those things had already been thought of. and everything. So there was if there was either a procedure for most of these things, including the scrubbers, and if not a near procedure where they did something similar prior, and they tweaked it for this. So if I'm remembering, this actually harkened back to something that happened on Apollo 8, where they had to jerry rig something together for a completely different purpose, but similar outcome and everything. And again, it harkens back to Armageddon, where Bruce Willis is talking to Billy Bob Thornton, like, you guys are NASA. I'm sure right now you got a group of guys just sitting around thinking shit up. and
there's another group of guys backing them up, thinking shit up.
and it's kind of true. So when you go back, same with the Ken Mattingly thing. He wasn't the one, not to take anything away from him, because he was there after the disaster happened, but he wasn't so much coming up with all this stuff. He was fact checking it in simulators, making sure it would work when they put it into practice for this situation, because they already had a lot of these procedures written down and they had to go and dust them off essentially. So, which was cool. Yeah. So anyway, so NASA engineers, they again tweaked this with the plastic bag, cardboard, blah, 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 and came up with a device to start scrubbing CO2 out. With heaters off, temperatures dropped near 38 degrees. Condensation formed all throughout the vessel, and astronauts started wearing extra clothing and pressure suits to stay warm. And then you get to the manual navigation part, where a couple times they end up off course. Well, not off course, but what was it? Too shallow? I think it was too shallow, where they were going to skip off the atmosphere.
Yeah, it was like they had to hit the jets at the right time.
For the right amount of time.
Yeah, because like you said, they would either propel too far or not enough and just crash into the moon.
Yeah, well, into the Earth. We've already come around.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're adjusting their re-entry angle, where, they might skip off the atmosphere and just go into space, which that is the most terrifying sentence. And, like the nothingness of it. But with limited computer support, Lovell used the Earth and the sun in the LEMS window to line up engine burns. And this was interesting because it's in the movie. I didn't quite pick up what they were doing. One man was, if you can imagine, one man was responsible for basically up and down. Another man was responsible for left and right. And then Swigert was timing it.
Yeah, I think it was like that. And he was looking out the window and like actually looking at the Earth to like tell them like, okay, we're almost at the right.
And that's the way the movie depicts it. But what I wasn't picking up was, like, I forget if it was Lovell or Hayes, but only one of them was responsible for the up and down navigation. The other guy was responsible for left and right.
I believe that's the pitch of the yaw.
Yeah, there you go. And so
I could be wrong.
They split those they had to.
Yeah.
They split those responsibilities. In the movie, I felt it was depicted a little differently. So it's just mind-boggling coordination.
Yeah.
Again, like, it's kind of a dream work environment, honestly. People that just get it done. Several precisely timed burns of the LEMS descent engine kept the spacecraft on the correct return path. That's what they were burning, because they couldn't use the main engine. They were using the engine meant to, slow the lunar module's descent to the moon. Did you have anything before I got to re-entry?
No, you got pretty much all of it. Yeah.
Way to say I'm hogging the microphone.
You're doing great.
So, just before re-entry, the crew powered up the command module Odyssey, which had been preserved for this critical phase. This is where you see, this is what Ken Mattingly has been working with all of them to accomplish at a certain power level, so as to not use up the batteries and like that, because they have to. I forget everything that the command module is not command module.
Lunar module.
Oh, I guess it is the command module, Odyssey. But anyway, what it's responsible for. But the main thing I wanted to stress was the parachutes have heaters, which I never thought of. You know, it makes sense.
Wow.
But they had heaters that have to be powered so that the parachutes don't freeze up in space and everything, right? So,
oh shit,
yeah. So I mean, there's even though they're coming back to Earth, like once you're in the atmosphere, they're still not out of the woods. So that's again why the power up procedure was so. Is that
Fire
sirens?
truck.
The fire truck.
Oh, I knew it was hot up here.
Also, to put a face on it, Ken Mattingly, which was the guy who caught the measles, was played by Lieutenant Dan in the
Yeah,
movie.
Gary Sinise. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they have to warm up the parachutes, a ton of other things, and then which they successfully do. It turns in. I forget which one of them said it, but one of the astronauts says that it basically became a rainforest on the inside because of all the frozen condensation inside the command module. That when they start going through the atmosphere and obviously it started to heat up, it starts to thaw, this and the other, and it is. They do a good job in the movie depicting it. It is just pouring on them and everything. But yeah. Anyway, let's see here. So yeah, just before re-entry, they power it up. Aquarius was jettisoned. That's the LEM. After serving as their lifeboat, I think it was Swigert was the one that said he was actually sad to see the thing go away and everything, just because it saved their lives.
Yeah.
The service module was also released, exposing the blown out panel. I believe there's actually film of that.
That's got to be insane. Like actually seeing the damage for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
And
Yeah, there is footage of that actually. It's pretty cool.
And when they do see it, the main concern is the heat shield to Odyssey because the damage basically ran the entire length of the service module.
Yeah.
So that means all the way up to the heat shield on Odyssey, and everything. So that was the main concern. So even real life had drama. So anyway, yeah, they start descending through the atmosphere. And there is a 3-minute, I believe, a 3-minute communications blackout as they're going through the atmosphere.
Yeah, because they got to preserve whatever they have, right? Like,
Well, radio signal really doesn't go through the atmosphere. I mean, it can.
Okay.
It has to be a certain power.
Yeah.
So, like ham radio operators and everything, right? They communicate on different sides of the globe by bouncing radio signal between the surface of the Earth and the atmosphere. And everything, because until you reach a certain power level, it doesn't pierce the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So they're in a communications blackout during re-entry. At least that's how I understand it. For 3 minutes, they come down, parachutes deploy, astronauts are have survived, and they get picked up by the USS Iwo Jima, and it is the most successful failure ever.
Hey man, we fail successfully. It's a good time.
Yeah.
yeah, that's legit. What I think they named it in like newspaper articles and all that stuff. Yeah, successful failure.
And actually, if you watch the movie, which I do recommend, I feel fairly safe saying that Apollo 13 is probably my favorite space movie. Yeah. Honest to God.
I have to think about that honestly,
Yeah.
because now I got a bunch of space movies just
Yeah.
flowing through my head.
I'm not putting Star Wars in the same.
Well, that was a galaxy far, far away, anyways.
Well, yeah, and also like you could make that series like on one planet and minimize it and just not have it be in space. Like it doesn't have to be in space. It's an opera that happens to be in space.
Like one of my favorites that's not a serious movie is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's one of my favorite
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
space
But
movies.
yeah, if you watch the movie, and again, I recommend you do. The captain of the ship that's shaking Tom Hanks's hand, that's the real Jim Lovell. I just noticed that
That's tight.
Oh wow!
on this most recent viewing.
That's cool.
Yeah, he makes a cameo.
That's pretty tight. I fuck with that.
But, yeah.
Yeah, that mission lasted a total of 143 hours, almost 143 hours, just under 6 days.
Yeah.
That's a long fucking time
It was a long
to
time
deal with this
for
once.
everything to be going wrong.
Yeah.
So, like, think about that on your next road trip
Yeah.
when you're just having
Yeah.
a day And like, you know, what's your bad day at the office look like?
Well, almost got lost in space.
Yeah.
Danger, Will Robinson.
You
This
know?
is bullshit.
All of the astronauts afterwards ended up doing pretty cool things too. Lovell retires from NASA. He writes a memoir called Lost Moon. Hayes was later a test pilot for a space shuttle program. Swigert enters politics, elected to Congress, and dies of cancer in 1982.
Before he took office.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, he didn't even get to take office.
Yeah,
but he was elected.
Lieutenant Dan Ken Mattingly and flies in Apollo 16 and other space shuttle missions, and then Apollo 14 after this, because after they have this problem that they figured out and fixed, had a successful lunar landing mission in February 1971.
Nice.
So they actually, I mean, it failed, but it's like that's like the best thing you could have from a failure. You know, no one dying, and you actually.
Yeah, that's the important part, really. Nobody died.
You learned how to do it correctly, you know?
Right.
Like, they didn't try it again 3 more times and then, like, just keep blowing shit up, you know?
That's a good idea.
Yeah. We should have sent more dogs.
No.
Fucking Russia.
No, we shouldn't.
What if
have,
we-
No,
actually.
I was making fun of the Russians.
Fair enough.
We do 3 dudes and a dog. What if we do that?
They did have the first space gun, though.
I couldn't imagine if Juno was in space with me on a
There's
spaceship.
not a hatch big enough.
Yeah, we refer back to what we talked about earlier, where it got
Juno
stuck.
with their ears. She's just like, fucking.
But somehow her face is still just the same, just looking at you like,
She's trying to catch the same snack that's been floating around.
The new space potato.
The blubber would like help with re-entry. It'd be like a heat
She
shield.
might thrive, honestly.
Oh, all that pressure off of her body. Be weightless for a little bit. Jeez.
Her ears are like the propellers. She just fucking
Dumbo.
guiding gracefully.
Well, anyways, you guys have anything more you want to add? We good?
No, just rest in peace, Jim Lovell.
Yep.
Indeed.
I wish more people knew about him, I
Yep.
guess.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that dude was pretty cool, and because like everybody knows Buzz Aldrin, but nobody talks about Lovell.
Yeah. And well, you know, the one comment I was gonna make, actually, they made the point, they always made the point of like nobody watched Apollo 13 until the disaster happened. And cause by the time, Apollo 12 went by, they made going to the moon so routine and everything else, blah, 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 blah. And I don't entirely buy that. Like, I know people weren't watching it. It was more, not enough people pointed out the fact, and because we did it here, of showing, and I would equate it to something like The Walking Dead or something, watching a show like The Walking Dead or something, where people watched from the 50s on to, finally get to the moon and like, okay, cool. We got there. I don't have to keep up with this anymore. And what I would say way more of that than like, it's just another moon mission. No, like this was 20 years in the making, and now people saw the climax, and they don't have to watch it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I can see people getting, especially if it happened now. I feel like people wouldn't even give a shit.
Yeah, it's
Like-
hard to compare now because they could probably have like a live feed of astronauts on their way to Mars, and
We had the
You
one
probably
crew
wouldn't
stuck
get a lot
up in
of
the
views,
ISS for like 6 months. Nobody could
Nope.
do shit.
I think I mentioned it on a podcast a few times just because I'm like, yeah, people just keep forgetting about people just being stuck in space. Thanks, Boeing.
Yeah.
But-
Boeing stuck 2 people up there for 6 months, and you're like, yeah, it's their fault for trusting Boeing.
yeah, honestly though,
Yeah.
you
Boeing
left
don't kill us.
space.
I don't know.
It's our fault.
I don't know that we'll know until we go to Mars.
Well,
Like,
and that's the
what-
thing that because we actually had an episode. I can't remember what it's called. I should have wrote that down. But like where we had an episode, we talked about the next plan to colonize the moon, and people were like, whoa, they're building a nuclear power plant up there. Yeah, they made this plan years ago. This isn't news.
Yeah,
like
the problem is China is like figuring out a way to like get a lot of resources from the moon because they've been having all these people go on podcasts talking about like faster air travel, like companies like called Airbus where they want to take you from like France to New York in 4 hours.
yeah, Airbus is Boeing's direct competitor. So like if you've flown, like even when we've flown together places, we might have been on Airbus. I never looked it up, but
Yeah, so these companies are having these guys who are like AI guys who are just like, okay, so how can we like build our own company that's not involved with the government to where we can do like high speed, like hypersonic travel.
It's called the
Commercially,
Concorde. We had
you
it.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, we did. It was nuclear powered and it was fast.
And it had a weird nose, but it worked, damn it.
It might have been spewing out nuclear waste over what it flew over, but that was at low altitudes. It's fine.
Yeah, it's scary to think about, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, like for the listeners, go back and listen to our episodes, especially Operation Paperclip, where we talk about the beginning of this whole process. I can't remember the name of the episode, so I'm sorry, but there is another episode that we have where we did actually talk about the plan to colonize the moon, because that's the stepping stone to actually colonizing Mars, which is going to be they already started launching it, I think, late last year, early this year. So like it's been almost a year since we talked about it. And so yeah, like this is stuff that's actually currently happening in our lifetime, where the moon is actually an option again, where we're talking about going to Mars. Like these are things that are actively happening in our history that actually isn't horrible for once. So I said, like, do yourselves a favor, look into these things. Like we actually are making history in a good way for once, and it's pretty cool. So
To be determined.
Okay, fair enough. But but those are just my thoughts on that, because I mean most of the history that we've lived through has been horrible, and it'd be cool to actually make history in a good way for once. Just saying. Yep. And that's my thoughts on that.
I agree.
Anywho, we're Acquired Taste Podcast. If you made it this far in the episode, we appreciate you listening to us. Give us a like, give us a follow. Like I mentioned before, we do have a website. Check us out there. We have merch on the website as well. We did a photo shoot. These two were not dressed in the merch. It was in the email. They did not read it properly. So yeah, check out our merch.
I don't remember getting an email.
Yeah, you did.
I don't remember learning to read.
Fair enough. DJ followed directions. What's your excuse?
Was he told? I know he didn't read it.
Oh my god.
I was told to be there, and I did that.
Okay. Anywho, so yeah, if you made it this far in the episode, like I said before, thanks again. We do appreciate all the support. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a rating. Tell your friends. We're actually a pretty cool podcast. And on that note, I hope y'all will be cool.
Thanks, guys.